whoever's in here, whoever's in the chat, thank you. If you guys have any questions, trust me, I'm answering beer questions. This is the 2020, the outro that I wanted to do on New Year's Eve that I couldn't do. I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna talk about the NFL, how the NFL ended for me, fantasy wise. I'm gonna talk about how the NBA fantasy started for me so far. I must say, so far so good. I must say, so far so good. I'm not even gonna put an intro on this episode because technically this is kind of a season finale. This ended a 2020 that ended early. I really think, guys, I don't want to boost myself too much and let my ego take control of the show. But I really thought I was gonna win about two, maybe all three of my leagues. NBA, fantasy basketball. I really thought I was gonna win all three of them. I know Rob's gonna tell me something different, but I promise you guys, I was winning at least one league. I was gonna win at least one league, and the second one was probable. I probably would have won about two leagues. Third one would have been hard, maybe a third place in the third league, but I'm pretty sure I was gonna win at least one, two leagues. COVID stopped me. I came back out of my 2021 league though. I'll tell you guys about that in a bit. Let's talk about the NFL, how the NFL finished. I should say how fantasy finished because NFL didn't finish yet. Obviously, playoffs are going on right now. Disappointed in my three teams, guys. My three WONDERGEDDON teams. I disappointed. Came in fifth place in two of the leagues, fourth place in one. Embarrassing, I know. I should be ashamed of myself, but you know what? It wasn't my fault. It was my fault. Shout out to the winners of the 2020 season. In the Star Nation Pro Bowl, a team has no name was the guy who won. This guy's team was pretty blasted, stacked. He had Pat Mahomes and he had Devontae Adams. I tried to complete a trade with him. It was constantly getting vetoed. I'm not gonna harp too long on that. Jordan face on me for that. I lost Dak Prescott early in the season, who was putting up some MVP numbers. Obviously, he got injured, trying to work his way back from there. Who else? He had Devontae Adams and Pat Mahomes. I think I said that part already. Michael Thomas disappeared on me. He was injured for most of the season. I'm telling you guys, if I didn't have those injuries, or if I even got, I don't want to make that excuse. I'm not making excuses, but I will say that I'm not losing in that league ever again. Next year, if we come back into that league next year, I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys are listening, Star Nation, Pro Bowl, hear me right now. Look at my face. Put a Jordan meme on it if you will. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. You guys will not beat me next year. You might as well not pay for the next few years. You might as well just wait and direct it straight to my account. This year was the first year, and I know you guys were talking a lot, and some of us were talking a lot and doing the little undercover snake things. I'll allow that. Now I know year one. Just know that for the rest of the time that you guys see WONDERGEDDON on that schedule, just know you're going to take your L. Just know that you are going to take your L every time you see WONDERGEDDON on that list. And if you don't take your L, it's because I let you win. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Just know. Okay.
You want to play rough?
I'm not losing in that league ever again.
Say hello to my little friend.
I'm dummying all these guys for the rest of the time. Second league, my WFFL league. We did year 3. Congrats to the Acadia Saints. His team was pretty nice. He had Devontae Adams, AJ Brown was on his team. This guy had DJ Moore, who had a great season for him. I knew he was coming. I knew that he was a good player. He clicked in this year. This guy also had Travis Kelsey, and I used Travis Kelsey to beat up some guys in other leagues. I can't believe I didn't win with Kelsey putting up the season that he had. I think he was the best all-around receiver, if I remember correctly. Not even a tight end. He put up number 1 receiver numbers, and he's number 2 on his team. It's nuts. Possibly the best team I've seen out of all the football teams that I've seen in all the leagues. I think this guy had the best one. Big up Acadia Saints. He just kind of stayed consistent the whole way through. I lost because I believed in the wrong players. I'm gonna tell you about that in a minute. But yeah, man, Acadia Saints had a pretty strong team. As I said, he had Devontae Adams beat me in 2 different leagues, knocked me out of playoffs in 2 different leagues. So, and this guy had AJ Brown. AJ Brown put up phenomenal numbers. And my 3rd league was GTA Fantasy Football. Congrats, Lidl. This guy won. His team was pretty good too. This guy had Deshaun Watson. He had Stephon Diggs and he had Keenan Allen. But he also had Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry beat up mans this year. I couldn't do anything. My team, again, I believed in players that I shouldn't have believed in. But I mean, I lost my championship. I was the reigning champion of that league until this year when I lost. I'm coming back for that title too. I'm not gonna go on and talk too long like I did against the other league, but I got something for you too. I believed in the wrong people, folks, and this is gonna be my quick little get this off my chest, my little rant, if you will. I believed in 2 people in 2 different leagues who have proven me so wrong that I'm questioning whether I'm actually good at this fantasy football stuff. I know everyone that goes into fantasy football does this stuff where they question whether they have a gift. Shout out to my boy Cool Runnings. He is in he's in at least one league in every sport that we're in. Consistently always has a strong team, if not the strongest. Second strongest because I have an ego. But I believed in 2 people in 2 different leagues. Carson Wentz and Joe Mixon. I called you 2 to the front. You 2 screwed me bad this year, guys. Fantasy football, Carson Wentz and Joe Mixon, both of them had them both on my teams. Lost them both early in the season. Carson Wentz later on in the season, I should say, but lost them both completely. I don't blame them per se. A lot of people think that Jalen Hurts came in and necessarily played better than Carson Wentz. The offensive line, I've been bugging people about this for the longest time. Carson Wentz has Philadelphia Eagles have a pretty bad offensive line. They had guys who had to come out of retirement to play. They had new guys. There was nothing in front of him that was keeping Carson Wentz safe. In my opinion, he looked scared all the time. The coaching sometimes, I don't know what they were trying to do, but I do know that if your O-line isn't necessarily good, you gotta try some different things. So I'll even let the suspect coaching slide. But man, Carson Wentz was scared the whole time he was in there. Jalen Hurts is young. He's not scared. He's excited. He's running around in there. He's still getting sacked just as much as Carson Wentz is. Only difference is that he's young and he can get up from it a little bit easier. Joe Mixon, bad offensive line, can't really stay healthy. That's a bad combination. I don't know why I believed that Joe Mixon was going to be able to stay healthy enough to help me win a season. I'll be honest with you. Let me be honest with you for a second. I thought that he was going to get injured through the season and come back late in the season and help me win the championship. But he didn't even come back and help me. He just left. He left a few weeks ago. I don't even know if he's coming back to the Bengals or not. I don't think anyone really knows. I don't think he knows. Um, but yeah, I believed in Carson Wentz. I believed in Joe Mixon, and it backfired. It backfired so hard for me. I would have won. Let me not do that. I would have won stuff. I do this every year at the end of seasons when I don't win and I just question how the world went wrong for me. And I'm not gonna do that this year, guys. I'm not gonna do that this year for this particular league. But I will tell you that next year I'm gonna win that league, and I'm gonna win the. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win a bunch of leagues next little while. Ego in check. I'm going to. That's it for football, guys. I think. This season of football is still going on in real world. We'll talk about that another time. Right now, I'm trying to get through the 2020 wrap up. Yeah, guys, I think next year I'm gonna win. I'm tinkering my strategy a little bit better to deal with a first time league that I was in this year, and a couple of the veteran leagues in my personal league. I am not my ego completely in check. My league, the WFFL league, is the most competitive league that I'm in. I actually went looking for the best guys that I know in fantasy sports instead of looking for the worst ones and trying to take their money. I actually looked for the best guys because I wanted to make sure that I was actually good at this stuff. And I picked the best guys that I know of, and unfortunately now I'm questioning whether I'm actually that good. So I guess that's going to be the cliffhanger for the next season of fantasy football. Am I still good? Mr. Wonderful's Revenge, Wondergeddon Part 2, or Season 4, Season 8 in some cases. I think at least Season 4 or 5. I don't know. We're going to find out after. We're going to find out next season. But for now, I'm going to take a couple minutes break. That's all I'm going to say about football until it comes back next year as far as the fantasy context. I'm going to take a few minutes. We're going to play some tunes, and then we're going to talk about fantasy basketball. All right, we're back. Coach want to get in second half of the show. We're going to talk about fantasy basketball. When one season ends, another one begins in the fantasy world. As we all know, as soon as football's done, we go into basketball. COVID kind of delayed things. They kind of moved it around a little bit, so it's a little bit more fast, but it is here. I got 3 teams this season. I tried to keep it simple, so I have an 8-team league, I have a 10-team league, and I have a 12-team league. Basketball, I've been playing fantasy football for a lot longer than I played fantasy basketball. Fantasy basketball, I just kind of got into maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where fantasy football I've been playing for about 20 years. Ego completely in check. I am damn good at fantasy basketball. There's people that are better than me from what I've seen, or that are as good as me in their own special ways. But I feel like it's almost my black people gift that I got in December 21st, but I got it like years ago, or 22nd, whenever black people were supposed to get their superpowers. I got mine way early. That being said, guys, let me tell you guys about what my squads look like this year. Just picture this, okay? Picture this. Me, an amazing amazing fantasy coach, an amazing presence in the locker room, uh, a genius in coaching, positioning, uh, X and O's guy. And these are the players that I got. 8 teams. Myself, WONDERGEDDON, and 7 others come out to try to defeat me. Did I win last year? No. Was I gonna win? Yes. COVID did stop me from busting up some mans. And deep down they know it. 8-man teams. A couple guys ran off. They escaped my wrath. So we're down to 8 teams, which is kind of what I wanted. I'll be honest, when I did my draft, I think I went for too many, I wouldn't say long shots, but I could have probably got meatier players. But I think the players that I got were pretty good. My squad consists of Russ Westbrook. Okay, Mr. Triple Double guy. I got Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Andre Drummond, CJ McCollum. My goodness, I have Steph Curry. I have Gobert. That's on my 8-team league. Could have got. I was thinking Gobert. Maybe I probably wouldn't have took him, or maybe I took him a little bit too early. Maybe I wouldn't have took him because to me he doesn't really have an offense that I can build around, that I can work with. He's not really a 20-point guy, which is kind of the guys that I look for. But I mean, I'm gonna win blocks. I think I'll win blocks with him and Andre Drummond. I got a couple guys that I'm always pieces I'm trying to move around them, but that's my meat. That's the center of my roster there, if you will. My 10-team league of degenerates are there's a few of us. We've been in this league for a few years now. We have a couple avid listeners, if you will. Shout out again to Robs. You don't know. He's in the league. Ryan, sorry. Ryan is taking a beating from me this week. I am beating him up. I wish I was at work to show him about the beating that I was gonna give him this week, but because I think he was winning all week, and I knew that I was gonna take over and at some point give him the Rossin that he deserves, and now he's getting it. I think he had me almost at like 3. I think he had me down 3-8 at some point, and I was like, yo, you can't keep this up. See my team? This is my team. I have Sabonis. Now, we're only 3 weeks in, so I know I can't. And you don't know with health, with COVID, and just basic fragility of NBA players. We'll talk about that another episode. But just how soft these guys are. You need such a deep team. You can't really deal with like role players. You have to get players who are blended, and you have to find all the guys to get to win in a league. I happen to have Sabonis. I have Zach LaVine, Steph Curry. You know, it's just how I do. Christian Wood. If you don't know who Christian Wood is, I know he was kind of surprised to people. People saw glimpses of him in Detroit, but now he's in Houston with Harden, and he's putting up those Clint Capella Matt numbers, those 2020 games. And he does it a little bit more well-rounded. He shoots threes. He's a man. Oh, did I tell you guys that I also have LeBron James on that team? Yes, that's correct. I have the 2 best point guards in the league, Steph Curry and LeBron James. LeBron James. Best point guard one of the best point guards in the league. Number 2, probably. We'll talk about that another day. And I forgot, I have the Rookie of the Year, LaMelo Ball, as well. We're going to talk about LaMelo Ball and how I think he's going to be the Rookie of the Year. another date. Let's just get through 2020, and then we're gonna start fresh with 2021, and everyone's gonna be interactive. Now that we're back inside the studio, as I said, we're COVID safe around here. I just can't bring any, no more racketeering in here. Let's go. 12 team. My 12 team, Jays and Titays. That's the league. And there's 12 team in there. So players get a little bit more scarce. You gotta find those gems, and you gotta hit them as hard as you can. Just try to get them. Try to get them. Now the thing that made this one special is that I had the option to keep my whole team as keepers. I got to keep as many keepers as I wanted from my last year's squad to continue this year since we finished because we finished with COVID. I elected to keep my whole squad because last year I was going to bust all of these guys up. So I said, you know what? Out of respect for my squad, let me keep my squad. Here's the core of my squad, okay? I have Giannis. Giannis is on my team. And then I have Bradley Beal, who has free will to shoot 30 times a game. And he's been doing it. Colin Sexton from the Cavs is also on my team. And the Aaron Fox. Did I say Gord Hayward? Because Gord Hayward is on my team too. My team stacked, and that's my 12-team league. There's among others, a couple guys that I want to get looked at and kind of traded around. But that's what's going on fantasy football, or sorry, fantasy basketball. I am going to win one of these leagues, at least one of these leagues. My league, the WFBL, as I said, often the most competitive league out of the ones that I know of. That one just started, but it's gonna be ultra competitive. Legion of Degenerates, my 10-team league. Let me tell you something, a little secret about that. There's four of us that talk often when it comes to sports, when it comes to fantasy. We're all in this league together. And there's always a guy that runs his mouth about how good his team is. And there's always another guy who runs off his mouth about how good his team is. Yada yada, there's four of us inside one room often that are in the same league, talking and talking and talking. And I think I do the least amount of talking out of everyone in this league, that in our little division, I guess you could say, our conference. So let me make sure I get your names right, because they change their names every year, while mine is always WONDERGEDDON. Let me say this, guys. I know we just started. I know the league is only in week 3. But let me tell you guys, just like last season, whether you want to admit it or not, I'm going to continue to work you guys all season this year too. I'm going to win this league. I'm going to win this league again, guys. Why do I always do this to you guys? Everyone wants to talk about how good their teams are. But when it comes down to it, when you look at the numbers and when you look at what happens, you guys narrowly escaped me last year or the year before. Narrowly escaped my wrath. COVID stopped you guys from further taking my wrath last year. And now this year, you guys are either gonna have to make sure that these guys survive the pandemic to give me mine. It's time I win this league. I have to win this league this year. Give me what you owe, is what I'm saying. I am coming for the championship. Jays and Titays, I'm not too sure. We got another team in there that I think might look a little bit better than mine. Any league that has Cool Runnings in it. Cool Runnings is my rival. If I'm Naruto, whether he knows this or not, he's my fantasy Sasuke. Every time I finish a draft, I go and I look to his teams. in basketball and football. He's my rival, and I'm not gonna tell him which team, but one of his teams looks better than mine. Another team though, I'm gonna ross him, but one team he might be better than mine. But I'm not gonna. As I said, the fragility of the NBA player is a different kind of fragility, man. They can't go 2 weeks straight. If your name's not LeBron James, I you can't I can't see you going more than 4 games in a row before you just injured or wrapped up. I'm gonna leave it like that. I did today, guys. 2020 wrap up in a way. What we're gonna do is something a little bit different because I do have the Coach Wondergeddon Instagram. We got to start using that. I got to start using it too. We got to make sure that I'm running this thing properly. Straight up. For this to continue. Because this is fun. And I know you guys tell me on the low that you guys like it too. So we got to do this thing proper. Coach Wondergeddon is going to be more interactive on Instagram as well. That being said, I'm going to ask questions, and hopefully you guys are going to ask questions that I'm going to be able to answer on next week's episode. So just keep posting questions. As you can see, twitch.tv, Higher Movement Showcase. Make sure that you subscribe to that so that we can see the progress and get this thing going. You done know. Coach Wondergeddon on Instagram. As you can see, we're also on YouTube. The edited version goes on to YouTube. And that's the movement. Higher Movement Showcase. We got some more shows coming up. Be patient with us.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Follow. I don't even have a link to my own Instagram on here, but that's fine. We'll put that on. I'll put that on there another time. That's another episode. 2021. More things to come. More fun. Advertising opportunities to the business people out there. Talk to me. Yeah, 2021. Let's make that. I know. Week 1 was kind of an interesting intro to this season of America. But as I said, I can't get political on this show. I'm not gonna talk too much about that unless it's sports related. If you guys have any questions, as I said, feel free. Join the Coach Wondergeddon group. The QR code. Did I get in the right? Am I pointing in the right direction? I am. Hit that if you want to join the Coach Wondergeddon group. We're gonna try to be more interactive. I suggest if you do go into the group that you immediately mute your notifications because it might just start firing up. We're gonna get through this year. We're gonna get through it easier than white people through the White House. I'm not gonna get political though. That's another episode, guys. Thanks for watching. I know it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you, but I'm back, and we should be able to keep it going from now. All right, you done know. Thanks for watching another episode. Higher Movement Showcase. Coach Wondergeddon. I am your coach, Wondergeddon. Thanks for watching.